Hey guys, what's up? All right. It's Double News back. Today we're going to build my version of the Tesla Cybertruck. And we're going to do it around, I would say, a 1/8 scale maybe. But I'm going to put it underneath a XCX-10-2 chassis that I had already fabricated up for my Bruiser mod and my HDP 407 mod, or my Jeep that I built. I'm going to use that as a format. So we see here we got some wrapping paper. Yeah, oh yeah, it's plaid. It looks pretty. And I come up with this idea because it has a grid on the back of it. And which is good because it gives you a a format to go by. So long story short, I didn't have the money to go out and buy anything this week because I'm bucks down, and I said to myself, well, you know what? I do have some aluminum laying around. I buy this by the sheet. I bought it at Home Depot. You can probably get it at Lowe's or even online. And it's, it's very easy to work with. And you can cut it with scissors. So you see, I already showed you this. This is the aluminum I use. I grab a marker. I made a couple of stencils. I kind of just laid it out by the wheelbase of the, the chassis I was working with. And I kind of figured the height. And you can do that with a simple tape rule. Measure it in millimeters or inches if you want. And so I cut the wrapping paper out to what I kind of wanted here. And then I laid it over top of the aluminum. The big flat aluminum sheet is a stencil. And as you can see, I bent it all up. And so this is the side. Now what I've done was I lowered the roof line a little bit on the thing. And I kind of smoothed out the sharp lines on it. And, I folded the back edge over. When you do draw out your stencil, with this here, just give yourself an extra, like 1/4 inch, around everything. Draw out the hard lines that you want, and then draw another 1/4 inch out on everything. You can always cut it off, but you can't add it. So this took me about, maybe 3 hours to sketch out and cut all the rough templates. Now I grabbed a piece of angle aluminum and I just put it over top the edge of a table. Now when you want to fold this stuff, you lay out your lines. Okay, for instance here I use 1/4 inch fine line tape because I'm going to fold these out as a flare like so. That way we have somewhat of a flare, because they did have flares on them. Now when you're folding a thing, always start with your longest lines first. Like I kind of did the outer edges first, and then I did this line here. So if I had to do it again, I would do this line first, because now all you have to do is simply fold your edges over and go from there, because these aren't crucial. You just need a nice straight line. That's all you need. This here you're going to see. Now the reason I chose the aluminum, because the truck is made out of stainless. So this is lightweight. It'll give you a nice stainless look, and you can take a scratch pad to the thing and give it brushed stainless look. Now aluminum has no memory, so whatever you do, it's not going to come back to that place you want it to be. So if you screw up, like up in here, I had some issues up here, okay? So I used the butt end of a screwdriver, I lay it on the aluminum, and I tap it out. Now I will block sand that with some sandpaper and then go over it with a scuff pad. And what I figured I would do with this one, I like the matte black version that somebody had posted online of the Tesla truck. And I think I'm going to go with that. And another thing I did, I eliminated the bumpers on the truck. So this is my front fascia, okay? Now normally I folded it up so, because I'm going to put like an LED headlight bar in here, like they have. And I was going to fold this underneath down here and then make a bumper. But I thought, you know what, I'm doing this my way. I've already lowered the roof line on it. So I'm going to roll everything to kind of give it a nice rounded, like a roll pan custom look on the thing. And we'll go from there. So anyhow, I'm going to start putting it together. And we'll go from, you know, how it goes, I guess. Now, when you get everything flared up, okay, now you've got all your edges made on the thing, and I made it so it just kind of locked together. All right, so when you start locking it together, that's where the masking tape comes in. You get everything where you want it to be, like so, and then you start, what you do is on the back side, just make a couple of lines where everything meets together perfectly. That'll help you when you glue it together. So what I'm going to use on this is JB Weld, because it's set. You can get the quick set JB Weld, and I've showed it in my other videos. And basically, you know, you get everything together. And what I do is I'll tape it all together first on the inside, and then I'll tape it on the outside to make sure all my lines are perfect, or as close as they can be. Then I will remove the inside tape and run some JB Weld in there with a little stick, one side to the other, and then I will fold it back over and tape it again. So, you know, so this way here, your JB Weld will be your glue, and your tape on the top will keep it from squishing out. And the nice thing about JB Weld, it has a gray look to it, so it'll be a little darker than this, but you'll be able to take some, you know, even some aluminum silver paint, and if you want to take out any imperfections, you can do that. Paint it with aluminum silver paint and still take like a scuff pad and just scratch it up so it gives it that look. Or you can paint it. So I'll be right back. We're going to tape it together real quick, and I'll show you how I do that. Okay, now we got it kind of taped together, rough together. You can see how it all fits together like a big puzzle. Basically all you're doing is making your own puzzle. Up here I noticed how they thinned out the light, so I bent this up, bent that up, and made a slight sway in the center here, so I put my LED in there. And like I said, I got rid of the big bumpers on the front here, and I'm going to give it kind of a roll pan look. So when you look at the thing from the side, it has kind of a lowered stance up here. I lowered the roof line. Now, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a 2-door out of this truck. I'm not going to make the 4-door version, for the simple fact of be different, you know. And you see it's pretty wide. Now back here, I will actually cut this out, okay, and well, I'll probably just make an origami fold in it and fold these down to make the bed, and then make the tonneau cover that fits in it. The bed's easy. You just make a box that'll set up inside here with a couple of lips and glue it on the inside, because they do have a little flange over here. So, and then up here I will get Lexan and probably get some window tint and tint the Lexan, because it's a glass roof and a glass windshield right here. And you see I left a little bit of space where I set it down in there so the windshield will set tight up against it. And basically after it's in, I can cut that right out if I wanted to, and then use servo tape on the very edges, paint the very, like a 1/4 of an inch of the Lexan window black on the inside, on the out, you know, on the inside outward here, and then just double stick tape it to this. And now the hood itself, as you can see, it's a little longer over here than it should be here, and it's got some wrinkles and stuff in it. So I'm going to actually cut this out right here and make a hood out of a nice clean flat piece. And whether I decide to just glue the thing on, but this way here it'll set up flush with my Lexan. That way the windshield ain't sticking up over here. And like I say, the mind's endless, guys. You know, if you want to do something crazy, this is it. So now we'll fit it on the body. So there it is, fitted on the chassis. I kind of threw the wheel on there to give it a little articulation look. You can lower it up, down, whatever. You can adjust your ride height on it. This is, you know, kind of hands-on 101. Give you a kind of a side look. Yeah, it's jacked up a little bit, but you can push it down. You can set your ride height to whatever you want when you're building your own chassis. So, I think this is the first RC Tesla truck to be made. I don't know, we'll see. I haven't seen any out there yet. I've seen some 3D printed off ones, and man, they're getting like, they want $1,000 for the things, you know, and it's like, yeah. And some people hate this truck. Some people love it. My kid just ordered one. And, you know, God bless him. I've always been a rod and piston guy, and the biggest cubic inch you can get was, you know, kind of like, you know, put the chub in your pants, you know, and the testosterone factor. But, you know, electric, I mean, it's an upcoming thing, and, you know, times are changing. Look at our RC cars. You know, I still dabble with a little nitro because of the, you know, that Toyin FS100, but, you know, still electric, brushless. It's just the way to go. It's quiet, clean, easy. But, so anybody who wants to build their own body, it's simple. And believe it or not, as flat as this body is, it wasn't that, you know, it wasn't that easy to make. It was, you know, no matter what you're making, you really can't do a lot of curves with this stuff. You can do kind of right angles and squares and all that, and triangles, but, you know, I don't know. Tell me what you think of it. I know it's kind of rough and ugly, but, you know, once it's done and you picture this with windows and a matte black thing on it, I think it'll be pretty cool. Maybe change up the tires a little bit. So, anywho, like, share, subscribe if you want. Any questions, comments, feel free to hit me up. And, you know, you guys are, you know, appreciate your support and watching all my wacky builds. And so you guys have a good weekend now, okay? Adios.